Is recording now? Okay, now it's recording. Okay, good evening, dear guests. Today we are with Julia Andrea Duque. She is an expert in innovative education. She's going to talk about the new school. Also with her is Jessica Paola Calderon. She is an expert as well in innovative education and new strategies and technologies. So, welcome to this panel. My name is Valeria Viña. I'm going to talk about education in Colombia. So, I wish you the best for this panel. So, Julie, what can you tell us about innovative education?
Okay, first of all, I'm going to say hello to you and the other partner. So I'm not an expert in this topic, but I'm going to do the better effort. So I want to tell you about innovative education, new school. The new school is an innovative methodology in education that has transformed teaching inside and outside of the classroom, where teachers are facilitators of learning process and students demonstrate all their skills through drawings and music and experience that are developed through curriculum and flexible and innovative strategies different from those of conventional schools. The acquired knowledge is a more meaningful. It's a meaningful knowledge because the knowledge is relevant to the life of them. New school uh, developed in Colombia by a group of rural teachers who designed this model to provide higher level of education in the primary public schools. Sorry. So I can say to you some advantage that you can know when you work in a new school. For example, the first advantage is that you break out with the traditional teaching. You break all the paradigms, sorry, and you implement a new model of education because the methodology is a new methodology. In this kind of a school, the activities are based on observation, experimentation, and manipulation. The students interact with the other students. The teacher role is a creator role, a research and experimenter role with the students. Teacher is a facilitator too. The students can organize in different groups and they interact. Everybody interact, help each, and try to do a collaborative work. I like to work in new school because I had the experience the last year, and it was wonderful for me because I was working with different groups of students. I was working with students of grade 4 and 5th grade. So I like the most this kind of education. This is all about this kind of education. These were my point of view. I want to listen about your topic. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Julie. Very impressive. Now, Jessica, what can you tell us about innovative education?
Good evening. Like Julie, we talk about the new school as it has been implemented every day in our country and in the other countries. The new school is the revolution of education. In this school, the children and youngest learn to be creative, to express themselves better, to participate in class, to, to the confidence that their teacher give them to do it. And the new school was started as a project in which they wanted to help improve the education of low-income students so that they would enter to study and not leave the institutions. This model was designed by Colombian teacher and has been extended to more schools of the country. During the last years, at least 90 more countries are implementing this model of education since they have noticed, according to reports, how the new school is revolutionizing education and has made students more interesting and learning and having a study. Now the education ministry says the following readings: the new school. The new school is an education model that allows complete primary education in multi-grade school with one or two teachers integrates systematically curricular strategy, community training, mono, monitoring, and administration where promote activity, participate, and collaborative learning and stretch the relationship school community. It has a flexible promotion, may Chinese adapted to the conditions and life needs of rural children and productive pedagogy projects which allows students to advance from one grade or level to another and full development. Academic units at their one pace. It should be noted that the new school is revolutionizing education as it is mentioned above on they are already appearing in the different countries because it is innovative way of getting children become more interested in their study as the ministry explains, participate, creative and collaborative, which make students develop their capacities better. The new school is a recognized pedagogical model focused on the students' need that transform conventional schools focused on the teacher to achieve a high quality education. It's one of the bottom up innovation in the developed world since its creation. The new school was adopted by Colombian government as a national education policy and has been replicated in numerous countries around the world. With this, I finish my my opinion of this topic. Now, Valeria speak of the Colombian education.
Okay, thank you so much, Jessica,
Thank you.
for your words. Okay, the education in Colombia is a topic that has many things to do, many things to talk about. Maybe some people think that Colombia has the worst education in Latin America or even in the entire world, but it's not like that. It's not true. Colombia counts with different levels of education, starting from primary school to doctoral education. Colombia's presidents have made a great effort to improve the quality of its education. In fact, it has grown and shown a great advance during the last years. There are some programs held by the Ministry of Education which have made a positive change and have given many opportunities to have a higher level of education. These programs are Revolución Educativa and the National Bilingual Program, which aims to become bilingual most of the population in Colombia. In fact, many schools have adopted the culture to make their environment fully bilingual, but just the private ones. Because the public are not bilingual, well, they implement some educational resources in order to improve their English teaching process, but it's not enough. Although previous presidents and ministries of education have made a great effort, it is well known that it's not enough to fulfill the expectations of the population. Colombian people deserve high quality education, and if the government invests more resources to the education, will be in a long term as Finland, which is the most educated country in the world. I think it is not difficult to achieve this goal. In fact, Colombia has the resources to do it, but I frankly believe that the government should struggle more to give a high quality education for their students. It is not just to leave the best education for the private schools. Public schools must have a high quality standards of education. It has to be a policy, but public teachers sometimes don't feel motivated because they don't receive a fair salary. So they don't do their job by passion or vocation. They just do it because they have to. So I think that's the main reason why the public schools are not the best. Um, the The political constitution includes the fundamental notes of the nature of educational services. It states, for example, that it is an individual right, a public service that has a social function, and the state is responsible for the regulation and enforcement of the final inspection and supervision of educational services. But anyway, the education in Colombia is free. in the public schools. They are asking the students to buy some text and some books. They also in some towns they don't give the students the uniform, so they have to buy it by themselves. And obviously, this kind of family they don't have too much money. Sometimes they are a poor population, so for them to reach a good education, or maybe because they live very far away from the school, so it's difficult for them to go every day. So they start to not going to study, and that's why most of the students don't continue their education, or they just go through primary school and then they don't finish, they don't go to high school, and then they go obviously to the university. So it's really difficult. I have the opportunity to work in many schools, private schools, and I think the education is very good. It's excellent. They are fully bilingual. They teach almost all the subjects in English. So that's really impressive because you can see the improvement of the students learning the language and learning all the subjects. So it's not that Colombia has bad education. It's not that the private schools are amazing, are really good. Now, once I have the opportunity to work in a public school, and I could tell that is a problem. The teachers just bring some worksheets, some guides. That's it. They don't do really an effort to become to become better, and that their students improve. They just do it because they have to. So I think that's the problem of the education in Colombia, really, the public school. They don't have a high level, so that's why in other countries they think that Colombia doesn't have good education. But they are talking about just public schools, I'm sure, because private schools, they are really doing a great job. Thank you so much. And now I'll be attentive to your answer or to your questions or comments.
Mm, okay.
Okay, Valerie. Um, I share your point of view. I share many things that you were telling us. So, according to your point of view, I want to say, or I would like to do a question. What do you think that are the main challenge of Colombian education now?
Well, I think, as I said before, I think the challenge that has Colombia in education is to invest money, to invest infrastructure, to invest in train the teachers. The teachers must be trained day by day. There are new technologies, the use of the ICT. They have to implement like a policy where the teachers be trained day by day and improve their performance when they are teaching. Also, it must be in all the public school, all the new technologies in order to teach not just English, but all the subjects. Thank you for your question, Julie.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you for your answer. It was great for me. And I share again the point of view because I think that Colombian education needs to improve teacher remuneration too. It's an important challenge that we have to improve now. Thank you, Valerie. Maybe Julie has another question, I don't know. Or do you have some question for me? I don't know.
Mm, yes. Julie, the new school is revolutionizing that way of teaching.
Yes.
Um, espera.
Okay.
Will you implement what the new school talks about when you have to teach?
Okay. I'm going to tell you a little story about my experience. The last year I was traveling to a place far away from the city, and I had the opportunity to work in a new school. I was doing more or less about 3 classes by week, and I was working with different students, different age and different levels of education. So from this way, I was implementing the new school because I have different age and different grades. About more or less about 20 students. So I I had to divide the class in different groups. Some topics were similar from them. I had to work in different steps of the teaching, but I want to share with you that it was a meaningful experience for me because it's a revolutionary teaching. It's a different learning of process. It's not a traditional, it's not a conventional education. It was a very nice experience for me, and I would like to work again with this kind of population. This was my experience about the new school. Thanks.
Thank you for your answer, pardon, for your response. It is really good to implement this model of education in our experience. Now, I ask to Valeria,
Yes.
um, what do you think must be done so that the education in Colombia improves?
Well, I think that it will improve, as I said before, if the government invest in education and invest in giving the salaries to the teachers. I think that will be really important and they will feel motivated to do their job day by day and do it by vocation. And they have to implement really a bilingual program in schools. Although that it's a bilingual program of the Ministry of Education, is not a very good program. As you can see in many schools, that are not implementing this program, that are not implementing bilingual environments. They are teaching like the old school, using the board and that's it, and some worksheets. So we are not going anywhere if we continue teaching like that. Thank you, Jessica. Now I have a question for you. Have you had the opportunity to teach implementing the new school?
Mm, no, in this moment, no, I have not implement the new school, but I think implement the this model in my classes and create my own school in this is do espera que se me fue in this do implement this model because is very good is make that the students participate in this school is more important. Teach at the students of participate and create to the growth and and you will be creative is very important. And no more. Thank you, Valeria, for your answer.
Thank you, Jessica. So, anything else that you want to say?
Everything is clear for me. I don't have any question to ask you.
Okay, thank you.
So, maybe to conclude, we can say that we spoke about a topic that is very important, which is the Escuela Nueva, innovative education, and the education in Colombia. I think it was really important because each of us had the opportunity to talk about from our personal opinion, from our personal perspective, and taking into account our previous experiences. So I think it was really important to make this panel. Thank you so much, and I hope we had another opportunity to continue talking about this topic.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Valeria and Julie, for participating in this session. See you
Okay. Okay, partners. See you in another occasion, another time. God bless you. Have a nice night. Okay? Goodbye.
You too. Bye bye, Julie. Bye bye, Jessica. Take care.
Bye bye. Thank you, Valeria and Julie.